Welcome to Peach County Schools Podcast.
Welcome to episode 2 of the Peach County Schools Podcast, where we celebrate our students, teachers, and the incredible stories that make our schools shine. I'm your host, Matthew Hunt, and I'm thrilled to have you join us for this episode. Today, we're heading over to Fort Valley Middle School to check in with Principal Kizzy Johnson. She's a leader who truly inspires her students and staff to be the very best every single day. We'll hear how she fosters a culture of excellence and encouragement in her school. Plus, it's time to roll out the red carpet for some of Peach County's finest. We'll be presenting the Golden Peach of Excellence Award to one outstanding student and one exceptional teacher who are making a real impact in our schools. So sit back, get ready to be inspired, and let's dive in. Let's shine the spotlight on a school that has truly soared over the past year, making waves with its remarkable growth. Get ready for an inside look at the heart of education in action. It's time for the Peach County Pulse.
From the heart of Peach County, this is Peach County Pulse.
Today, we have the absolute pleasure of speaking with Miss Kizzy Johnson, the dedicated and inspiring principal at Fort Valley Middle School. With a passion for education and a commitment to student success, Ms. Johnson has played a vital role in shaping a positive and nurturing learning environment at Fort Valley Middle. Under her leadership, the school has continued to grow, fostering academic excellence, community engagement, and student development. Ms. Johnson, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm very honored.
I'm hearing exciting news that Fort Valley Middle is getting a renovation done. Could we talk a little bit about that, and when does that project start?
Absolutely. We have a wonderful renovation project going on right now. The project started on December 2nd.
Okay, that's exciting. December 2nd. We look forward to seeing those renovations take shape. What is your goal for these renovations?
For me, I wanted to create a place that was aesthetically pleasing, but I wanted to also create a place where we could be proud. That we could be proud of our building, proud of who we are in our building, proud of our scores, take ownership of everything. And your environment is very important.
Oh, absolutely. The environment, as we all know, as former students, has a direct impact on how much we learn. So it's exciting to know that our kids at Fort Valley Middle School are getting that positive environment. And I just look forward to seeing what happens. So tell me about the project. Are we on track? What phase are we in? Just tell me what you know about that.
We are working in 5 phases. So this is phase 1. We're behind a little in phase 1, 10 days behind, but for good reasons. They are taking such care to make sure that we get the best of the best. So if there is an issue, they have taken the time and the attention to correct things before moving forward. So this is not them just saying, get it done and get out of here. They are making sure, ensuring that we have the best of everything.
As humans, we know that we want everything done immediately, but it's awesome to know that the construction crew and the administration is taking the time to make sure that the things done in this renovation project are for the best of our kids. So that's outstanding. I know that you're a passionate person, but just tell me, leave one last thought about why you're so passionate about this renovation.
Here's the thing, I'll retire in about 9 years or so, but this building has to be wonderful for the students. This is a building for the students, and they should feel comfortable in their space.
That shows what kind of person you are, thinking that far into the future and thinking about the future students at Fort Valley Middle School, because you're right. We do want that building to last, and we want it to be the best it can be for not only now, but also future generations. So besides just the physical renovation of the building, what else do you envision for Fort Valley Middle School?
So there's a lot that I envision for the school. I have great hopes for these students. Of course, the number one goal is to keep moving forward academically. One of the school's focus is literacy. I want to make sure that all of my students are reading on grade level. And here's the thing, I don't just say that, I mean that. I want all my students to be reading on grade level. When they leave this building, I want my 8th graders to step into high school. And again, like I stepped into Valdosta State and there were no problems, I want my kids to step into that high school and I want them to take off and fly. And one of the things that's going to help them be able to do that is reading on grade level. So that's one of the initiatives that I have. Again, I share a lot with my kids. I'm very vulnerable with my kids. They need to know Miss Johnson has a heart in who I am. So I'm an avid reader. I love to read. One of the things I started this year that I love is Miss Johnson's Lit Squad. I'm very proud of my Lit Squad. Last semester, my students, we read The Wild Robot. And so we read it together. I had not read that book. I read it with my students. We met on Fridays and we had snacks and coffee and we had a real, book club jazz thing going on there. And then we stepped out of the building and we went to see the movie. And we talked about how the book and the movie were very, very different. And then we went to Chick-fil-A and had lunch. And so I begged and begged and begged for kids to come to my Lit Squad, and I got 32 kids. This semester, we're reading a different book. I have over 65 kids in my Lit Squad. That's success. We talked a lot about scores in this interview, and scores are important. They are very important. But sometimes success can be measured in different ways. It makes my heart so happy to know that 65 kids now want to be in Miss Johnson's Lit Squad. And I'm going to order those 65 books and we're going to manage and we're going to read our books together, because what I love, and if I can make students love what I love, and if I love reading and now they love reading, and if we have to tie a trip to that, I got 65 kids that are going to read a book. Another initiative that I would love, I think with having Fort Valley State here, just where the world is going, on the horizon, I would love for us to become a STEM certified school. I think that, technology, science, math, all that kind of stuff is the future. And I, again, want to set my students up for success. So I don't remember ever growing up knowing that stuff existed, but I want to make sure that my students have that. And then lastly, one of the things I would love for our students to start is, of course, a podcast. Thank you for asking me to be a part of yours, but I think if you ever speak to my kids, oh my goodness, their conversation, their thought process, they are smart students. And so I think having them on a podcast, doing these types of things, having that success is going to be very important for us moving forward in the future.
I think it'd be awesome for your kids to do a podcast too. And in fact, I know a guy that has a couple microphones and a podcast machine. I'll bet you we can work that out. But let's switch gears just a little bit. You've got or had tremendous academic growth since you've been the principal. Listening to you speak, you would think that you have been a principal for about 30 years, but really, so far, it's been about 2. What strategy have you used to ensure your school shows growth and continues on the path to success?
Here's the thing, and I love this. We had to become failures at some point. We had to fail. We had to try this instructional practice. We had to try this lesson plan. We had to try this different thing of doing things and say, hey, this doesn't work. And we had to be okay with that, because we tell kids to go out and do the things, and it's okay if you fail, and all these types of things. But as adults, we are not used to failing, and we are not used to doing that. And so I tried to create an emotionally safe place, an educationally, instructionally safe place where we could learn together, grow together, fail together, come back together, and try again together.
Oh, I absolutely love your stance on failure. Going ahead and teaching kids that failure should be something that you embrace and you learn from. That is a life lesson, and that's outstanding that y'all students are learning that at this age. Middle school is a tough time of life, And that is something that will truly benefit them in the future. And it's already benefiting your school. You can see that in your academic success and the culture that you're building. And I applaud you for that. One last thing, I visit Fort Valley Middle frequently, and I've noticed that you are in front of those kids on clear touch panels. So if you don't know what a clear touch panel is, that's basically like a giant TV. And Ms. Johnson, I'll notice that you are on those clear touch panels speaking with your students, and I honestly think that is something unique to Fort Valley Middle. Tell me a little bit about that.
Oh, that's Zoom with Miss Johnson on Mondays. Okay. You saw me on Zoom. So every Monday, we have an academic focus period built in every day in our schedule. It's a 40-minute block of time that we use to do remediation and enrichment with our students. And on Fridays, we use it for social emotional learning lessons. Tuesday through Thursday, we use it for remediation and enrichment. But on Mondays, we start the week with Miss Johnson. It is an opportunity. Here's the thing. Sometimes I get bogged down in classrooms. I get bogged down in meetings. But you see my face. You're going to see Miss Johnson, and you're going to start your week. It is an opportunity for me to start the week with, we're in a brand new week. Everything that happened last week is over. We're moving forward. I use it as an opportunity definitely to tell my students about, things that are going great in our building. Oh my goodness. If a student picks a flower, I'm going to put it on Zoom and talk about it because my students need to hear their names successfully. They need to hear their name in positive light. So that's where I go and I brag on them. And even if they lose the basketball game, I'll talk about how well they did with the sportsmanship. And I'll say things like, even though we lost, I walked out the proudest principal that I could have ever been. Because I want them to know that sometimes that I don't just love them when they're being successful. I love them every single day.
Well, Ms. Johnson, I think I speak for the community when I say that you, your staff, and your fellow administrators at Fort Valley Middle School are doing an outstanding job. And the culture that you are building, and I should say continuing to build, it's leading to some really awesome stuff. And man, I just really appreciate you being here.
Thank you for having me.
Congratulations on everything.
And thank you.
Yeah, great job. It was such an honor and a pleasure to speak with Ms. Johnson about her school's success. Fort Valley Middle School continues to shine, and we can't wait to see more great things ahead. Next up, let's recognize an outstanding student and teacher.
Golden Peach of Excellent Awards.
It's time for my favorite segment of the podcast, and that is the Golden Peach of Excellence Awards. First up, let's talk about an educator who is a true force of positivity and communication in our district, and that's Miss Leah Lyons, the media specialist at Fort Valley Middle School. Miss Lyons isn't just an exceptional media specialist. She's a storyteller, a mentor, and a bridge between Fort Valley Middle School and the community. Her dedication goes far beyond organizing books. She ensures that every accomplishment, big or small, is celebrated through engaging and dynamic social media posts. Thanks to her, student achievements at Fort Valley Middle shine for the world to see. But that's not all. Miss Lyons is also the driving force behind the top-notch student-run weekly newscast at FVMS. She empowers students to learn, collaborate, and take center stage, giving them real-world media experience while fostering confidence and teamwork. Because of her tireless efforts, Fort Valley Middle School remains a source of inspiration and recognition. Miss Lyons, thank you for your unwavering commitment and incredible impact. Now let's shift the spotlight to an outstanding student who is making waves with his academic excellence and dedication. That's Adrian Fleming from Fort Valley Middle School. This incredible student has not only maintained straight A's all year, but also just took home first place at the district-wide spelling bee. That's right. His focus, determination, and hard work are truly inspiring. But Adrian isn't just about hitting the books. He manages to balance academics and extracurriculars with ease, proving that success is all about dedication and perseverance. Adrian, your achievements speak volumes, and I have no doubt that the sky's the limit for you. Keep shining and reaching for greatness. Let's give a huge round of applause to both Miss Leah Lyons and Adrian Fleming, our well-deserving Golden Peach of Excellence Award recipients. Your dedication, leadership, and passion make Peach County Schools a better place every single day.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening.
Well, folks, our time is up. We hope you enjoyed February's edition of the Peach County Schools podcast. Come back next month to see what we have in store. Until then, take care and stay inspired. We'll see you next time.